warning. Carol's like, here comes your face. Ah! Oh, look at my bald head, man. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, anybody who lives in Wake County can get their own free cable access show. Well, you have to pay for the, you have to pay. You have to pay to do this. So people ask if we're making money. No, we have to pay. But I don't mind at all because it's really, you know, we reach a few people. We reach a lot of people sometimes. It's really great. Carol, how many people have watched that cerebral palsy show that we did? What's it up to?
Like 1,700.
1,700 YouTube hits. That is the most YouTube hits we've ever had on this show. We did this awesome. If you're new to the show, this is Raleigh Cable Access. Like I said, anybody in Wake County can join. You pay $40, $60 a year. And then if you need to take the classes to learn to use their equipment, then you pay extra for that. But if you just want to dump your own, you know, make your own movies at home and, you know, dump them on cable access TV, you can do that for pretty cheap. I think it's $60 a year, $70 a year of membership. So that's it. You can hit, you know, hit Raleigh cable living rooms, Time Warner cable living rooms. But yeah, we did a great show about cerebral palsy with a couple folks, Karen Stallings, who does her own show on disability rights issues, and Megan and Barton, who have written a book together about their interability relationship. Anyway, it's up on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Monkey Time Raleigh, and you'll find all our shows. All right, Carol, we got to talk about the Syria thing. I know, it's such an exciting time. All the students are back. The city feels alive. First Friday's coming this weekend. This is the Hopscotch Music Festival weekend, right? There's going to be all kinds of sideburns downtown this weekend, Carol. You are going to see so much mustache wax downtown Raleigh this weekend. I swear to God. And fabulous shoes. Can I just say that? There will be some freaking fabulous shoes walking the streets of downtown Raleigh this weekend. And we have Grayson Kern of The Independent and Hopscotch to thank for that. So thank you, Grayson, for the fabulous shoes and the fabulous mustaches that we will be seeing all throughout downtown Raleigh this weekend. We're going to talk about Hopscotch for poor folks later. Like if you're a poor person who can't afford the $150 weekend pass or the $60 day pass at this point, we're going to talk about Hopscotch, how to do Hopscotch for the poor in just a little bit. But first, we got to talk about Syria. We're going to talk about Pat McCrory, too. Oh, the first tip about Hopscotch, doing it for poor people, is don't do it. Do First Friday instead. I hate to say it, because I'm doing it, but you know, that would be go downtown this Friday night. I was talking with an older couple, Carol. Well, not older. I mean, they're my age. We're not old, right? I was talking with a couple who've got some kids at a party last weekend, and I was really strongly encouraging this couple to take their teenage kids to First Friday this Friday. Because, Carol, there will be particularly exciting street crowd energy this Friday, even if you're not going to Hopscotch. I'm already doing Hopscotch for poor folks, Carol. What am I doing? Go to First Friday this weekend. The weather's supposed to be clear. There was a 10% chance of rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 10%. The weather's supposed to be clear. Just plan. The North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences shows really cool films early on. They're showing this. My friend Skip does these really odd, like monster movie films. I forget which one he's showing this week, but I'll tweet it. Put up my Twitter page, Carol. I'll tweet it. But there's tons of neat stuff happening downtown this weekend, and First Friday is going to be particularly exciting because you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the country and actually all over the world coming to Raleigh for the Hopscotch Music Festival. So the energy downtown is going to be incredible this weekend. Even if you don't feel like paying for a Hopscotch ticket, hop on your bike. If your parents from North Raleigh, I don't know what to tell you, you're gonna have to park, you know, bring the bikes in the car, park, and then ride your bikes to downtown because it's going to be hell to park this weekend. But it's going to be very exciting downtown. It's going to be well worth it. So, is that my boosterism for the week, Carol? Is the Downtown Raleigh Alliance going to forgive me for blaming them for attacking the homeless last month? I don't know, the Downtown Raleigh Alliance. I think sometimes you guys have your head up your ass. But downtown Raleigh is not suffering too much. So, you know, we kind of like laugh at the Downtown Raleigh Alliance when they do things, and this is all pure speculation on my part. But I'm betting the Downtown Raleigh Alliance is one of the forces that encouraged the police to stop the church groups from giving free food to the homeless on the weekends in Moore Square. I'm betting the Downtown Raleigh Alliance was behind that, and I think it's disgusting if that's true. All right, so let's talk about Syria, Carol. I am really, the more you look at this, the more you see similarities to what happened with Iraq. And yes, it's true. I don't think we should be bombing other countries without UN authorization. I think Obama, Mr. Nobel Peace Prize, should be bolstering the United Nations. But the damn Tea Party has made the UN such a negative term here. But the only people there on the ground right now is the UN inspection teams. The United States says we have samples, we have heresy, but they won't say, they won't tell Russia, they won't tell the UN, they won't tell anybody how they got those samples. When you're looking at science, you have something called a chain of, it's not a chain of command, what is it? The chain of evidence. They call it the chain of evidence. You need to identify each step when you get the sample to the chain of evidence. The U.S. and Obama and Kerry and all the people warmongering, and oh my God, John McCain is such an embarrassment on this. Bomb! He knows civilians are going to be killed in these bombings. Bomb! Oh, it's so disgusting. But Obama's disgusting on this too. The chain of evidence has not been established. We've got a UN inspection team there. Yeah, they were sniped at, but they got there. And we're hearing lies from the Obama administration, senior White House officials, about what's going on with the inspections there. This came from the NNO on Tuesday, yesterday, September 3rd. U.S. case, on Syria under fire. The byline, the byline there is McClatchy's Washington Bureau. McClatchy's the national chain that owns the NNO. They have reporters in D.C., and if you go to my Twitter page, I link to them. This article is really fascinating because remember what we heard last week. Kerry, senior White House officials, the British Foreign Secretary, before the British voted to say no thank you, right, Haig is his name, said it's too late for the UN inspectors. It's too late. It's been 4 or 5 days. The evidence has been degraded. It's dissipated, was what the British Foreign Secretary said, Haig. The evidence has dissipated. And you're like, if you don't know anything about sarin gas, the evidence, it's been 4 or 5 days since the sarin gas strike. And I'm not disputing, unlike some on the left, I'm not disputing the sarin gas strike. I think it's unclear, Carol, who released the sarin gas. It's not clear. The intercepts that we say we have came from relatively low-level people frantically calling, trying to figure out why there was sarin gas used. The U.S. says that we knew about this in advance. We saw preparations. But that raises a whole host of other questions we'll get to in a second. But right now, the key is that early on in this, and this is what makes me suspicious. I'm not saying I know the answers. I'm not saying I know the answers. Carol, I usually know all the answers, right? No, she laughs. You're not supposed to laugh when I say that. You could probably hear that from out here. She just gave this that was a guffaw, Carol. Carol guffawed instinctively. I usually have all the right answers. I am not saying that today. All I have for you is questions. Why are senior White House officials saying that the sarin gas evidence would dissipate after 4 or 5 days? Well, when you look at this McClatchy DC, these national reporters from McClatchy, which the NNO, had to just decide to run. So thank you, NNO, for being a McClatchy paper, I guess. But these people are smarter than most of the op-ed people who write op-eds at the NNO, including Orage Quarles and his crew, who will surely rush. I'm sure there will be an NNO op-ed in favor of bombing Syria sometime in the next week. Has it happened already? I don't read those editorials because they're so full of crap. But anyway, no, really, the lead editorials, the House editorials on national issues Orage Quarles and this crew here on national issues, on foreign policy issues, they have their head up their ass. But, on state issues, they're dead on point. But on foreign policy issues, they're so stupid, it's ridiculous. But the McClatchy people that the NNO runs have really good stuff. And here's the point. Carol, I'm rambling. Here's the point. Get to it, she says. Okay. The United Nations spokesman Farhan Haq, this is on the front page of the NNO from the McClatchy DC people, who are really good journalists. And they were one of the few journalists who were skeptical about the rush to war in Iraq, too, which turned out to be a total disaster based on a lie. So, the fact that the same people are saying, hey, let's look at this slowly and carefully. It is rare for an investigation to begin with such a short time. In other words, 4 or 5 days. UN inspectors on the ground, they got sniped at, they retreated, they got back, and they found samples. It is rare, says the United Nations, for such an inspection to happen so quickly. And yet here's John Kerry and the Foreign Secretary of Britain before they voted against it, and Obama's people, senior White House officials, talking to the Wall Street Journal and such, saying, it's too late. The UN inspectors, the evidence has been degraded. Turns out sarin gas can be detected for years after its use on a site. We have the science, let's say that slowly, Carol, and I don't want to be angry. Can I smile? We are smart monkeys. We have the science to detect a sarin gas attack for years after it happens at a site. So, first question, can we put up the 3 questions, Carol? Why the need to lie last week from senior White House officials? That's not my words. That was quoted in the Wall Street Journal and other papers. Senior White House officials saying, quote, it's too late for the UN inspectors to determine if sarin gas was used. The next one, Carol, why? That's the first question. Why the lies about inspections? The Obama administration should be doing everything it can to bolster the United Nations as a force for international policing right now. Instead, because of domestic political appearances, the Obama administration is doing everything it can to say, we don't need the United Nations to unilaterally launch a war that is against international law. They're using Clinton's 1999 bombing of Kosovo as a legal justification. There is almost nobody in international law circles. I challenge you to email me or tweet at me. There is almost nobody who believes that Clinton's 1999 bombing of Kosovo was legal under international law. And that is the precedent that Obama is using. Mr. Nobel Peace Prize is ignoring a very clear, very real process that he should be bolstering. The UN's not perfect. We know this. It's a hotbed of idiocy. But so's the US Congress. Right, Carol? Can I get an amen from the 5 blind boys of Alabama about that? Thank you. I got an amen from the back there. The UN is a hotbed of conflicting, selfish, greedy interests fighting one another and nothing getting accomplished, which perfectly describes the body Obama just kicked the ball to and says, what do you think about me bombing Syria? Congress. By the way, Carol, can we put up this number? Can you write this down and at some point get this number up? 202. That's the DC area code. Write it down, monkeys. 202 456 1111. 456 1111. You know the White House got that. They bought it off of somebody, or they forced somebody to stop using it. That's pretty easy to 456 1111. That's a good site, or a good number to remember, right? That's the White House contact line. 202 is the DC area code. 456 1111. 456 1111. Call them. Tell them you're against this. Kay Hagan's number, right? Richard Burr's number. Republicans and Democrats are kind of confused about where they should be on this. Kay Hagan's worried about the Tea Party if she comes out in favor of supporting the United Nations. Richard Burr doesn't want to support anything Obama does, but he loves the idea of bombing brown people in the Middle East. That's my theory anyway. Call them. They're confused right now. It's a confusing situation. So yeah, that's the White House number. Call them tomorrow. But more importantly, call your senators, call your congressmen, call people like David Price, who's such a good little Democratic soldier that David Price will vote for the bombing of Syria that will kill innocent civilians. I guarantee it. Unless his liberal constituency in Chapel Hill, which almost certainly opposes it, Chapel Hill and Raleigh and parts of Durham, call him and say, don't you dare, David Price, don't you dare vote for this, right? David Price is going to be a good little Democratic soldier and do whatever the White House tells him to. Brad Miller wouldn't have done it, but don't even get me started about that. Okay, Carol, we're almost done, right? All right. So the second question, yeah, call them. Call these people. You can, if you go to my Twitter page, Carol, I actually have links to finding your representatives' phone numbers and finding your senators' phone numbers. So I could spoon feed it to you, or I could say go to my Twitter page and you can say find your senator and see find your senator, find your representatives, right? Yourself. What? Yeah. Who is my senator? Should pull it up. Who is my representative in the U.S. House of Representatives? That should pull it up. All right. So you don't need me to spoon feed you. Here's the thing. Third question. Oh, yeah. So let's go to the second question real fast. Apparently, we had the intelligence that this was going to happen for days ahead of time. Now, some people are saying we've later discovered the intelligence, like later we realized the intelligence was there. No. In December of 2012, we had similar intelligence of activity in sarin gas, related to sarin gas. And Obama publicly called out Assad and said, don't you dare. In other words, we used the intelligence. This was just in December of last year. Obama publicly used the intelligence that we had, that there was activity around sarin gas sites, factories and such, right? And units that would use it, chemical weapons units, and publicly warned them, don't do it, and they didn't. This time, we had the evidence in advance again. It wasn't something we learned 2 days after and said, oh yeah, by the way, now that we look at the evidence from 3 days ago, we see, no, we knew. And we didn't say anything. We didn't say anything to the rebels. We didn't say anything to Assad. It's almost like they wanted it to happen. Just like, I'm sorry, Carol, I'm going to say it, the United States ignoring all those warnings about 9/11. I'm not saying Bush and Cheney deliberately let it happen. I'm saying some people in the structure of the intelligence agencies at that time realized there would be benefits. If it did happen, they'd be able to do a whole bunch of things that they wanted to do militarily. And some people let it happen and ignored some of the evidence. I think that's what happened. We're seeing it. We saw it with Iraq. Oh, okay. All right. Third question. What's the next step? What happens next? Oh, it's going to be limited. Well, what if Assad responds with a bombing attack, a heavy bombing attack that kills tons of civilians? What are we doing we're escalating? We are escalating, not de-escalating. And if he escalates back, Obama has just committed us, because that's how it will be. Obama has just committed us to a deeper, more aggressive presence in Syria, military presence in Syria. Nobody in America wants that. But the next step, if it goes wrong, is that. That's the only next step. He's got to appear tough to Putin. That's what this is about, right? Putin and Obama measuring their penis sizes. That's a big part of it, I'm sorry. That's a big part of it at this point. We have a process. We have a United Nations. Mr. Damn Nobel Peace Prize should be bolstering that process, bolstering inspections. And any senator who votes to bomb Syria without waiting for the results of a UN inspection will never get my vote again. Okay. All right. Are we done, Carol? All right. Can I just say that you're watching Breaking Bad? I know some of you are. A lot of you aren't, but that's okay. But Breaking Bad is pretty good. I don't think it's the greatest show on television by a long shot. It's too small. It's too pinched. It's a neat look at one person's descent and how it affects all the people around him. But Breaking Bad's not even close to being the best show on television. It's very well done, though. I linked to some mini webisodes that I had never heard of before. I had never seen. including characters having sex with drag queens, Carol. Yeah, which didn't make the show, but is in one of the webisodes that only 2,000 people have watched. I swear to God, these are official webisodes, right? And I don't know why. I mean, maybe more people have watched other versions, but go to my Twitter page. You'll see the Breaking Bad webisodes that are really sexy and really fun and odd. Okay, so First Friday is this Friday. Hopscotch. Yeah, lots more links there. Lots more links. I don't have to follow. You don't have to follow me. I don't give a crap if you follow me. In fact, the less contact over Twitter, the better. No, I'm just kidding. But check the links if you want. All right, Hopscotch Festival for Poor Folk. First thing, just go hang out downtown and don't attend any of the hopscotch stuff. That's a good poor folks option. You'll see lots of people that you know if you're at all interested in downtown and all hang out in Raleigh. If you're a Raleighite, you'll see lots of people because it's First Friday, it's hopscotch. People will be out and about. You can just drink a beer at home, hop on your bike, go downtown, and just walk around all night. Friday, Thursday, Saturday. And you'll see tons of people have a good time. The bars will be full, and you won't have to pay a thing. You won't hear so much good music that way, but that's the first option, the cheapest possible option. All right, next option. You ready? Carol, people don't know about the free day parties. I can't believe this at this point because Hopscotch has been pushing them big time, but I can't tell you how many friends I have who do not know that all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, many of the same bands that are playing in the evening, those evenings, will be in town at smaller parties scattered around the city. And they're all free. There are also a lot of other bands that aren't playing as part of the official Hopscotch, that labels, local labels, and other labels come down and they set up these day parties where you can still see tons of great bands, local and non-local, scattered all over Raleigh, all day Thursday. That's tomorrow, Carol. All day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, free music parties all over the city. There's one on Saturday, Carol, in the damn Rose Garden. Wow. The Rose Garden off Hillsborough Street and Pogue Street, across from the NC State Library. There's a party, a free party for hours in the afternoon Saturday at the Rose Garden. 3 minutes. Most people don't even know this. So the second way to do hopscotch for poor folks is don't attend the evening stuff. If you don't have a ticket now, at this point, it's kind of cheap. It's kind of expensive to get one. Just go to all the day parties. All day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all over Raleigh. Go to Raleigh. What did I say? Raleigh. Go to the Hopscotch Music Festival site and check out the day party schedule. I'll tell you what. Remind me, Carol. I'm going to write that down too. All right, so I'll tweet that as well, the Hopscotch Festival day party link. But don't forget about the Blind Boys. Oh, yeah. Here's the other thing. We didn't play the music. I know. And we didn't use the monkey. I know. All right, here. Monkeys. Oh, monkeys. I'm not a ventriloquist, Carol. Well, good. I'll tell you this. Oh, listen to that music. Oh, listen to that music. Oh, that music's so good. Oh. Okay, so all right, that's the Blind Boys of Alabama. The Blind Boys of Alabama. Do you see that? There we go. The Blind Boys of Alabama are playing the Hayti Heritage Center. But they're kicking off their U.S. tour, right? The Blind Boys of Alabama. Friday the 13th, not this Friday, next Friday. Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th, the Hayti Center in Durham. The Blind Boys of Alabama, one of the greatest gospel groups on earth. They did the Wire song, Down in the Hole, years ago. They did a version of that. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. So if you skip Hopscotch this week, next weekend, the 5 Blind Boys, well, they're not, I think one of them died, Carol, so they're just calling themselves the Blind Boys. The Blind Boys of Alabama are playing the Hayti Center in downtown Durham, Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th. How much time? How much time? 25 seconds. So, yeah, we'll tweet them too. But the Blind Boys of Alabama is going to be one of the greatest gospel shows you've ever seen. Seriously. Go. Go. Go see them. Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th. I think that's right.
Okay, we got 30 seconds to talk about McCrory.
30 seconds? Oh, what?
25 seconds.
25 seconds now? I thought you told me 25. Oh, look, what's the answer to that question? Oh, man, that veto override on testing welfare recipients for drugs is so stupid. The Senate and the House of North Carolina, so counterproductive, stupid, expensive, and dumb. Pat McCrory, weakest.